Hello everybody. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that I know it's very important in the space, but I think it's also overlooked. Everybody knows that list building is the first and main thing that you have to do to get more leads, more businesses are looking at a part of the data that they can get, because leads can get a lot bigger than they are right now. So let me show you what I mean about that. Now, these are made up numbers, I think make sense, but of course the situation is different for every company. So what I've seen with clients, what I've seen for other companies in the industry in general is something like this. CRM and inbound leads, they are about 15% of the total market that you can have. Then traditional outbound, that means traditional leads like LinkedIn, Apollo, they get you around 45% more. And then there are some creative alternatives that you can do as scraping websites. I'm going to talk more about it later too. That get you to 90%. And there's like the innovation challenge. There are really very niche groups, very niche databases, and different ways to get to that data. Then we go to here the next point. So the first and most important thing is your data in the CRM, because there you have people that maybe you've talked with, you know their challenges already because you've met with them. These people really important, even though they are a small part. It's very important to follow up with them, to have their contact information up to date, to have research, different data points that can help you see if something changed with them that made them a fit for your solution or not yet. So you have to have up-to-date data and really get also innovative ideas with the people in your CRM instead of sending a newsletter or the same email every month. Now going to outbound channels, so there are some strategies apart from the traditional databases. You can start implementing your company, start experimenting, see what makes sense, and just think where do these people live, where you can get them. For example, something that I was surprised made a lot of sound for in the conversation I've had with potential customers is event attendees. So everybody's going to events and people get a lot of contacts in the events, and there's a problem following up with these people at the events. And also, for example, I'm attending an event next week with 7,000 people. You're not going to talk to everybody, so it's really difficult to take the most advantage out of it. So something that I do, for example, is getting the list, scripting the attendees, scripting the exhibitors, companies attending those events, and reaching out to them beforehand. So 1 month, 2 weeks before the event, to get some meetings even before the event, and then after the event, the idea is to reach out to those you couldn't talk with, and also following up with the ones that you could talk with. This can become a very manual process, but there are ways to automate this. Another example is creating websites with directories where your target market lives, also marketplaces, industry platforms, and there are a lot of databases. For example, if your target market are companies that are hiring, then you can look for people hiring for those roles. If you only target companies with funding, then you can get directories list of companies that got funding recently. So it's really looking for those databases because they most likely exist. Of course, there are some difficulty industries, but still you can get some information. So for example, another, let's say, more advanced technique that only LinkedIn or Apollo will be Lookalike discovery. There are some tools that do well. I know, like for example, Apollo also has this offer, but there are companies that are more specialized in this and they do it better. And I don't want to name it all because I'm exploring a couple alternatives at the moment, and then I can make a video about the best one for me. And also competitor intelligence. So this is targeting prospects that are already interacting one way or another with your competitors. So for example, scraping the followers of your competitors. This way you can get people that are following already companies that do something similar with you as you, and then you can of course target them. Also, see if people are engaging in competitors or top voices post, and this could also be a signal they could be interested in your solution. And also mapping every connection that you have, because sometimes we are connected to people that are pretty relevant to us, but we forget about them or we don't reach out to them. So it's pretty important to map them, qualify them, and reach out to these people because you already have an entrance there. Now talking about inbound, this has to be like your main focus always. If you have an inbound channel, this is not big on volume, but it's going to be big on relevance because there's people looking for your solution. They sign up for your newsletter, they got the free account, they're interacting with your ads. So what you want to do is to always get these people inbound and research them, have the information on hand, and score them. If they are relevant, you have to call them right away because you have competitors. You have to be the first in order to stay relevant, and also create workflows or create strategies where you can make sure that these people go step by step to paid brand, to your paid product, make it like sending them videos, or for example, sending them parts of your software that they haven't looked yet and available in the paid brands, and that makes sense for specific companies like them. So sharing those touch points in different parts of the process is going to be pretty relevant for those inbound leads to make sure to follow up with them with the right intention and also in the right timing. For example, also you could de-anonymize website visitors. This works well in some countries, in others not so well. So it's not something for every company, but if you get a lot of visitors in your website, you can consider this. So your action plan, it has to be first audit your CRM, make sure that the data that you have is up to date, that you have research on the people that you need, because this is where everybody in your company looks first, gets the data. And if that doesn't work, then you're not going to really do anything and you're going to lose a lot of opportunities there. Also, then creating outbound workflows, outbound strategies, as well as inbound. So try different things, iterate, see what makes sense for you. And once you find something, you can start doing it on scale. So that was it. I hope this helped an idea of where to get the list, but how you could think about getting people where your competitors are not looking, get more clients. From there, send relevant messages. That was it. Bye.